What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are healthy and well. Today we'll be reacting to how does German parenting differ from the US? Now you guys know I have mentioned in previous videos in the past how helicopter parenting is a big thing in the US. Now, it's either parents don't trust their kids, they don't think their kids have enough common sense because they're keeping them from the outside world, or they are simply keeping them from the outside world because they are scared of the outside world and the weirdos around in this world and the crazy things that could possibly happen to their kids, which then leads them to just throw it on to their kid to be like, you don't have common sense, or you're not, no, you won't be fine out there. Well, you got to let your kid experience. You got to let them out and about. You got to let them live life and grow up, be mature, have experience. You know, this is how you grow discipline as a kid. This is how you build strength mentally and physically and emotionally. These kids be about 12 years old in the Walmarts out here in the US. Leave them alone for a couple seconds. Go walk away. Go leave your kid alone for a couple seconds and walk away. See how they react. See what they do. They oh my gosh. Oh. And I was a kid. I promise you. And mommy? Oh, we having fun. I'm out. I'm going around the store. I'm hitting the toy aisle. I'm about to go ride a bike. Like, yeah, I'm going to have some fun. I couldn't wait to have that freedom. It's a little different nowadays, man. It seems that parents are literally judging the outside world and throwing it on their kids. And then they want to make excuses to say their kids don't have enough common sense or they're not prepared. Well, they never will be because you're not letting them out. Let's jump right into this video. Highly, highly recommended. Original video link will be down below in the description. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me.
Is Germany safer for kids than the US?
100%. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and they get
Why
to grow
do
up
German
better.
children travel to school alone so young? And is it true that German playgrounds are actually built to be dangerous?
Yup.
Let's find out.
I mean, you got to get some boo-boos or something. You got to get some boo-boos. And now, these kids soft. I don't even see them playing on the monkey balls no more. Is that what y'all call them in Germany? You know, you get calluses in your hands and stuff. Like, they don't be like playing on the monkey bars or nothing no more. None of that. They talk about their hands hurt. What?
Find out.
And we ain't worried about that. Man, I'm all on the bars.
I first came from the US to Germany to work as an au pair, which is basically a nanny abroad. On the first day, I met my host family.
That's cool.
And we all went to the playground together. As their 7-year-old, who would soon be my responsibility, climbed up to the top of this somewhat terrifying-looking playground, the parents asked me to join them for a walk across the park. Shouldn't we ask little Nicholas to come with us? I asked. Oh, him? Nah, he'll be fine up there. We'll see him when we come back, they said. That was my first clue that playtime in Germany is a little different than I was used to in the States.
Oh, yeah.
I've since learned that German parents...
Playtime in Germany, man, them kids could be over there playing on the swing sets or whatever they doing as kids, and the adults could be over there drinking at a little bar, watching TV, talking to each other, having an adult conversation. Yeah. And that's beautiful. Now, that's nice. I like that. And imagine your kid is so mature that it's like, okay, I understand you're at the bar. You shouldn't be drunk or under the influence when you're with your kid. But it's nice to know that your kid has common sense to walk home if they want, you know? They go to school alone in the morning. They walk back home by themselves or with friends. Like, they have enough common sense to get back home or how to cross the street or this or that. You know, I dig that. I really do. And I've noticed that. Kids are growing up different. They are way more excelled in these countries, you know, experience-wise, common sense-wise, emotion-wise, emotional. Like, they know what to do rather than cry and panic. They think strategically. And I like that. I really do. So I'm like, parents are literally at bars drinking and their kids are over there playing. And they're not worried at all. And that kid's probably not worried at all. Like, oh, it's okay. Dad just had a few drinks again. It's all right. Like, that kid could probably walk you home, bro. Perfectly fine. Hold on, we can't cross the street yet, Dad. You know what I'm saying? We can't cross the street yet. Like, bro, the common sense, I love it.
It's a little different than I was used to in the States. I've since learned that German parents just tend to be more relaxed about their children than American parents. For example, I was shocked when I first saw kids in Berlin around age 6 or 7 taking public transport to school by themselves. This would never happen where I'm from, but it's pretty normal here.
Like, I wasn't literally saying it's good for the parents to be knocked up or your kid is fine. You know, they're old enough, they're mature enough, or they have more common sense. It's perfectly fine for you to get drunk and your kid will take care of you. That I wasn't saying that at all. That's not what I was saying at all. I was basically trying to just throw out there a couple scenarios, you know, a couple examples as to how excelled these kids are. Look at this toddler right here. I bet you she walked to school alone and walked back. That is amazing. That is amazing. We got kids her age in other countries and stuff climbing trees and everything.
This would never happen where I'm from, but it's pretty normal here.
It's so normal taking public transportation.
Unlike American children, German children are not typically watched every second. They're expected to learn life skills early and be independent.
See? I love that so much.
Immer sie machen lassen, ne? Und wenn sie gesagt hat, nee Mama, ich will das alleine machen, nicht festhalten, habe ich das auch nicht gemacht.
Später wollen sie auch nicht immer bei den Eltern sein, dann wollen sie halt die Welt selber entdecken, dann ist man halt in der Nähe, verfolgt es. Ich meine, gerade das gehört ja zum Großwerden auch dazu. Und dann, ja, sollen sie auch ihren eigenen Weg gehen dürfen.
So-called free-range parenting doesn't exist here in Germany the way it does in the US, because that kind of parenting is just the standard here. So is Germany really that much safer than the States? Growing up in Ohio in the 90s and early 2000s, I was allowed to run around alone with my friends. Now some of my friends are parents themselves and wouldn't think of letting their kids do that. Safety is a big concern for American parents today, especially with all of the frightening headlines about children being abducted. There were around 375,000 reported entries for missing children in the US in 2023. In Germany, it was just over 90,000. Compared to each country's population, though, it works out to be about the same percentage of kids missing. But in both countries, the chances of a child being abducted by a stranger is actually quite small. And the person responsible is usually a parent or family member who doesn't have custody of the child. And in both countries, nearly all missing children are actually recovered. Here in Berlin, I more often hear parents worried about their kids crossing a busy road, or photos of them being posted on social media. So the difference in parenting styles between the two countries does seem to be cultural. It's simply more normal for German parents to let their children out of sight than American parents. Tori Book, an American living here in Berlin, is adjusting to the German style of parenting after having her first child here.
I think German parents are just a little more relaxed, a little more chill, like less obsessed with have to track everything, have to know everything about my child, where they're doing things, when they did something. And there's a lot more of an attitude of kids will develop the way they develop and we don't need to be so observant and so careful about tracking every little thing.
Because let me tell you something. You're going to stop your kid from doing it now. Eventually, when they get older, they're going to lie to you and they're going to sneak and do it because they're curious. Because they're curious. They're going to lie to you and they're going to sneak and do it now under your nose rather than just come to you and keep it. I want to do this or can I do that? You know, because now you're raising them to be afraid of you or to not want to tell you anything because you're so uptight and strict. Nobody want to talk to you. Nobody want to talk to you at all. You know, so they're going to do things under your nose behind your back. They'll deal with the consequences if they get in trouble. If they do, oh well, at least we still got to do what we wanted because it's better than just being told no. At least let me get the punishment and I can think about the experience. Like, that was cool. That was fun. That's exactly how I was as a child. I deal with the consequences after, bro. I was smart enough to know, well, is this enough to get me in jail? Or is this enough to get me in trouble at home? I take my chances. I was smart enough to know which one is, wait a minute, hold on. Look at the chances you're taking now. Are you going to deal with mom or you deal with the police? And that's how we went from there. And I had that much common sense. I was perfectly fine. She just didn't want to believe the kid, man. Out about I want to do everything. Mom said no. Best believe I'm gonna do it on my own time. Like, better let your kid do it, or go do it with your kid. Try it if it's healthy and if it's nothing dangerous or too crazy or something like that. Life threatening. Try it with them and see. You never know. You may be like, I wasn't so bad. You can't judge it off of your life and your childhood and things you've never did either, and hold your child back. Come on, your child. Let them grow up and be who they be. They're not supposed to be like you. They are not supposed to be like you.
The way they develop, and we don't need to be so observant and so careful about tracking every little thing.
Tori tries out her German-inspired parenting style on the playgrounds here, which look a little different from what we're used to in the US.
I love German playgrounds. I
No,
think they're
but
amazing.
dangerous stuff. I love it.
Like, I think the problem in the US is we have a very cookie cutter notion of like a playground has to look like this and have these features. And I feel like here the attitude is a lot more kids are kids, they love to be creative, they love to explore and have different experiences. And so let's give them really varied playgrounds.
I know what you mean.
It is okay. Definitely a US. Yup. It looks sweet. Look how sweet the playground look, bro. Look at all the soft padded floors and all that for the children. Oh my gosh. If they fall, they don't even get a boo-boo. They just look up. Oh. Like they surprised they're not even hurt. No, that's not the purpose. That's not the purpose. Now, forgive me for saying in the last clip, yeah, I like that. Dangerous. That's what we would refer to this as. You know, this is what we see it as. Dangerous. In Germany, it's a little more excelled, you know? It's a little more challenging. I should have said that. It's a little more challenging for the kids. But in the US, they would call that straight up dangerous because it's like, oh my gosh, my kid can't play on that. Let alone, are the parents going to do it with the kids? Or would they ever do something like that? Or did they ever do something like that as kids? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. And I'm tired of the parents nowadays trying to be uptight in the US when they grew up in the 80s and 90s, or even before that. You was living more in wild times where times was good and fun and y'all was outside all day. What? How you trying to raise a kid up to be so soft now? When you grew up in different times than your kid. You didn't grow up in the 2000s? That's why I'm like, what? I just be so overprotective. I'm like, come on, man. Maybe it's because they grew up in that certain time. They try to protect their kid now, but come on. Seriously. And then they want to bash this new generation. Talk about, oh, this generation is soft. Well, y'all raised us. Either we let our parents raise us to be this way, or we go out and experience it, do things our own, and face the consequences, and we learn. You know, you live, you learn through life, and it makes you tougher. It makes you stronger mentally, physically, and emotionally. Facts. You know? Look at this sweet playground. Soft and sweet. You can't get hurt here. It's impossible. Okay, maybe not impossible, but like, nothing's really high off the ground and stuff. I'm looking at here. Look at all this type of stuff. Like, I'm looking at this like, what is that supposed to be? What is that? Like, look.
German-inspired parenting style on the playgrounds here, which look a little different from what
Is
we're
that quicksand? Is that like quicksand or no way.
used to in the US.
Was it? Like, look at this. A kid in the US would be like, how am I supposed to climb this? How am I supposed to play on this? I'm thinking about, okay, cool. We go get up there some way. So let me climb this and then let me go ahead and grab onto this and pull my body over. You know, something like that. How are we getting down? We're going to jump, of course. Kids, man. Kids. How are we going to get down? We're not going to climb down. We're probably going to jump. Oh, my gosh. And it's okay, though. We'll be perfectly fine. Take that leap of faith. This is an amazing playground. And forgive me again for saying dangerous. You know, a lot of people would call this dangerous. You know, ooh, my kid can't play on this, but I just call it more challenging. More challenging.
I love German playgrounds.
Like, what? Stop it, bro. What are they supposed to do with this? Are these kids, are they walking across this and balancing themselves? Or like crawling across the logs? Now, this is different. This is what I'm talking about. Body strength and everything means something. These kids is growing and developing differently. Just based off of how they play outside. You know, just based off of how they play. They are building strength as children, toddlers, and they don't even know it. And I told you, I'll be looking at the toddlers and the children that grow up in these different countries, specifically Germany, and I'll be like, yo, that kid would have put me down if we him got into a little scuffle when we was toddlers or something. Like, yo, he got some size on him. I was not that big as a toddler. They eating better and they outside playing the right way. Y'all raising y'all kids the right way. This is amazing. This is amazing.
Like, I think the problem in the US is we have a very cookie cutter notion of like a playground has to look like this and have these features. And I feel like here the attitude is a lot more kids are kids. They love to be creative. They love to explore and have different experiences. And so let's give them really varied playgrounds.
I know what she means. My
couldn't
playgrounds
go
growing up
nowhere
mostly
alone.
looked like this. Colorful, plastic, not too high, no sharp edges. So I was shocked when I first saw German playgrounds, often metal or wooden with more natural features and lots of character and whimsy. Some are downright terrifying, even for me as an adult.
To
be honest, the first thought in my American brain was that German playgrounds look like a lawsuit waiting to happen. But I learned that they're actually built with risks involved on purpose. The idea is that children who face risks while playing will learn to better manage tricky situations and thus better manage their adult life later.
Hey,
In fact,
they're working on their agility as well. These are future athletes. Look at him. We don't know. He may be in the Olympics in a few years.
These show children who don't face these risks are more prone to things like obesity, mental health issues, a lack of independence, and a decrease in learning, perception, and judgment skills. So while Americans tend to build their playgrounds as safe as possible, Germans tend to build theirs as safe as necessary. Even insurance experts in Germany agree. They recommend playgrounds with calculated risks involved, balanced with safety features to promote problem-solving skills. You might think American playgrounds can't look like this because Americans are more likely to sue when their child gets hurt. But actually, despite the stereotype, Americans are less likely to sue than you might think. Only a small percentage of civil court cases in the US actually involve personal injury, and most of those are related to car accidents. The difference is Germans are less likely to win millions in a lawsuit against a playground where their child got hurt. That's because the sense of personal responsibility is strong here, and you're expected to accept the risks at the places where you go. But I was really surprised to learn all this, and I have to say, I prefer the German playgrounds. So how does this all compare to your country? Are children also given this much freedom there? Let us know in the comments.
It's like adults can literally play at the German playgrounds. Literally. Like me as an adult, 22 years old. If I was to go to a German playground right now, like how she did, and climb up and see how high everything was. Now, I'm not, familiar with this type of stuff. Some German playgrounds got rock climbing walls and all that. What? They got rock climbing on like trees and stuff. I've seen. What? That's different. Like, even as an adult, I will look at that like, I don't think I could do that, actually. How is that kid doing that? Like, there's even some things right now that I see kids doing that I've never did before. And I'm like, bro, how are they doing that right now? You know? It's about just taking a risk. Let your kid get hurt. Let your kid get hurt. They built the playgrounds in the US to be safe, but I've always gotten hurt still. You can't run from it. You can't. If you're not going to let them go outside alone and get hurt, it's going to happen at school. Because when they go to school, they're going to act wild and crazy because they don't get that type of freedom at home, let alone outside of home, besides school. That's exactly how it was. And you wonder why the kid act so wild? Why every time he go to school I'm getting a phone call, this and that. I couldn't wait. I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to go home. I couldn't wait. You go to school with friends. I could go outside the playground. I could play with people inside and play cards and stuff. Like, I could talk to friends and stuff. Like, it was, yeah. And they all used to be outside, but like I said, I had that strict parent. Yup. Let me know in the comments, all my Germans, how you're raising your kids. That's none of my business, actually. Who am I? Y'all, I didn't mean no disrespect saying that just now, but like, you guys let them go out and about. Let them have fun. Let them experience. Let them get little boo-boos and little scratches, rug burn, whatever. It is what it is. These playgrounds that we call dangerous in the US, they're not really so dangerous. We are just inexperienced. That's why we can't handle it. It's simple. Ain't dangerous. You're just inexperienced towards it. Facts. Please let me know. Or are you actually a helicopter parent and you're a German? I know there's probably a few helicopter parents out there in Germany. You can't say that there's not. It's possible that we got some German parents that's like, well, I don't let my kid, and it could just simply be based off the fact of life experiences, they've had, maybe past trauma or anything. That's why I don't judge. I like to put myself in everyone's shoes and understand. So please, everyone, I would definitely be looking out and reading all comments. I love you all so much. Feel free to follow the Twitch. subscribe to all my other YouTube channels in the description down below. I know I got a lot of channels. I keep adding more and more channels in the description, but please subscribe to all my channels. If I don't post on one channel, I'm on the next channel. If I'm not on that channel, I'm on the next channel. You know, you can never really miss me, truly. I love you all so much. Stay safe. Flood my comment section, and I hope to catch you all in the next reaction video.